welcome back to the channel. So it is, what night are we in? Wednesday night? So we're getting a car ready to go to the shop. We're gonna take it to the shop and do all the work on Thursday. I was opening up some of the packages, wasn't really gonna film nothing, and then I kind of felt like I got. So it's my fault 100%. By no means am I saying it's anybody else's fault. I actually did what I never do, and I did not research this. So I just got typing happy, typed it in on eBay and purchased it. So I ordered we talked about in another video, the oil sensor level delete, okay? And I didn't even research it. So one thing I did notice pretty quick on eBay, okay? If you're trying to delete your old level sensor, whether it's in the Coyote or it's in an older one, a lot of the listings say like 86 or 87 to like 95-ish, 93, somewhere in there. But there's a couple listings that say from like 86 to 2000 and like it's 18 or 19 or something. So I was kind of like, that's weird. So I started looking at a couple other listings, and sure enough, you were getting common that they were all the way from like 80 something all the way up for the 5.0s. And people were selling an old delete plug. So plug that I thought was specially made. I don't know why I thought this. Specially made for the old sensor level to delete it. You know, just like on diesels, when you buy a delete piece, it's made to delete that item. Everything is always threaded, and once you find a thread out on something, normally you can find a cheaper option. For some reason, y'all, I messed up on this one and completely dropped the ball, and I didn't do my research. I just started typing on eBay, you know, and I ordered one. So this is what I got in the mail today. I actually went to I was gonna do a review on this. So the company that makes it extremely nice, I think they're veterans. They had sent an email. They were upset because I wanted to know where my item was at, and I had messaged them a couple times. And they actually they put like a shipping of handling of 1 to 10 days on their eBay listing. I didn't read it. As an eBay seller, I know the rules. You put on the ad how long it's gonna take you to ship, and that's what time you have to ship. So they did a little handwritten note, you know, saying, thanks CRC Autobody Paint for the purchase. And I was like, okay, you know, maybe I'll do a little review on these guys, get them some exposure. So I was like, no, I don't know. I'm not worried about it. So I opened up the package, and this is what was in there. We all know what that looks like. That's from the help section at Advanced Auto Parts, right? So I was like, I know that somebody isn't just buying stuff from the help section at Advanced Auto Parts and then labeling it as something else and putting it on eBay and selling it, because the top's been cut off where I can't read what this is. Now, I tried to look up the barcode number on the back, but didn't get no luck. Hey, it's a hustle. That's what I'm all about, so I'm not knocking nobody. I just then personally felt stupid. So then I typed it in on Google, you know, Mustang old pressure delete thing, and sure enough, it comes up. You can just buy a plug. It's a M20-1.5, okay? And that is the plug that you need for your oil pressure sensor to remove it out of your oil pan for the Coyote or the older 5.0s. Then Google comes up, of course, forums, or people have been beating this dead horse forever, so there's no reason to do a video on it. I'm sure there's probably even videos out there. I just dropped the ball and didn't do it. Now I feel stupid. But I figured I would just go ahead and point that out, is if you are building a Coyote and you're trying to delete your low oil sensor, that if you just type it in on Google, there's tons of information. The plug you need is M20-1.50. So M20-1.5. I paid $28 free shipping to my door for a plug, an old sensor, low sensor level delete plug, and it is $5.90 some cents in advance. So y'all know this is a budget channel, and y'all know I'm all about digging and finding the best deals. And so I kind of feel stupid right now because for some reason I just was ordering stuff really fast and going down a checklist of everything I need, and I typed it in on Google and the listing said that's what it's for. The way they took the picture, it looked like it had some special like flared end on it, and what it ended up being was they actually just took the seal and put around the hex head part of the bolt. It's a 17 millimeter plug, so they just put the seal around the hex head, and it just doesn't look like a normal drain plug in the pictures. So they didn't do nothing wrong. I just did not do my research, and because of that, I cost myself an unneeded $20 basically. So stings a little whenever I am built to be on a budget. So I'm gonna continue opening up some of this stuff. What we're planning to do tonight is I'm getting the car ready to leave out of here and go to the shop tomorrow. And so I'm just going through opening these little stuff. We got the belt in, I'll show you real fast. We got the deal on the fire line that I bought for the fire suppression system and all that. I bought some used stuff. So I'm just going through, gonna clean all that up. I might put oil in the motor, might put some fluids in. Need to gather everything up and just get ready for this thing to get out of here in the morning, because tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, I will be rolling this thing out and winching it onto the trailer, taking it to shop for Thursday night. So let me get back at it. All right, so put our Procharger belt on. First, let me show you that. So this is the belt for the Coyote with the HD bracket with the F1A94 Procharger with a 4.5 pulley. That is a grip tech pulley, but it is a 4.5 inch. So this is the part number. Got it straight from Procharger. Called them and got exactly what they recommend. And so this is it. This fits. This is what you need. So got some issues. So I think y'all kind of expect this stuff. I think we're going to have a few more issues than everybody or me is even expecting. I know a lot of people are ready to see this car out and done, but I don't know how simple it's going to be. I mean, we'll get there. But first off, so my tensioner wasn't clocked right, I thought. So it has 3 different settings on the back side of your bracket. So if you come back here, let's see if I can, right there. Okay, there's actually 3 holes in each of these slots. So the bolt can go over here, it can go in the center, or it can go here. So when I got it, it was in the center. That's where they were set up. So I clocked it back one more to get it to rotate more this way, so it had more play that way. I think that was wrong because I was trying to make it go the other way, and I was actually turning it wrong, and I turned all the bolts in, so I think that all needs to come back out, and it's wrong, but that's cool. We've still got the nut and bolt this whole entire car, torque everything, put Loctite on a lot of stuff. You know, everything is in finalized, but not 100% finalized on everything. So like everything with the Procharger still needs Loctite once everything is torqued to spec. But if you come down here, we're on our belts. So our water lines now hit our belts where I thought eyeballing them they were going to clear, and it hits that one right there also. It's touching the belt right there also. So they're going to have to be addressed and changed. I'm probably just going to go ahead, since it's just water, I'm probably just going to go ahead and order a kit tonight where you make your own lines with the fittings and change them over to black lines, and just make what exactly works for me, because it's like they can come up straight, they can come out straight, but they just need to come out and be pulled up a little more this way, you know, and maybe come, you know, up and go over or something. So we're gonna have to play with them lines. It's, you know, not the end of the world. It's to be inspected or expected out of something like this. You know, as you do one thing, you think you're good, and then you go do the other thing, and it has other issues. I went to take this pipe off, and I got aggravated for a second, so that I could easily see this. And to do the tensioner like it's set now, you have to take the pipe off to do the tensioner. Just the way I don't have a lot of real estate up here to run everything, being I put the radiator back up front. If we want to put the radiator back up front, we could have did a wider sweep, but that's how everything laid out. So now when you undo everything, the blow-off valve is actually hitting some other stuff down here, and so this charge pipe does not want to come out of the vehicle with the blow-off valve on there, meaning you'd have to take the blow-off valve off to get the charge pipe off. It does move around enough, and you can scratch it and move it to get it to settle down there in that corner where you can work on this perfectly fine. So, you know what I mean? That's not the end of the world. It's hard to do everything, you know, 100%, but we don't think these are going to be our final pipes anyway. These were a little cheaper quality. I got a feeling that we're going to blow these apart at some point, is going to be my guess. I could be completely wrong. They could hold up forever. But I did plan at some point to upgrade them whenever we upgrade the intercooler and we V-band them down there and get rid of the rubber couplings. But we're going to leave it alone. We're not making no changes on none of that for right now, because we're just trying to get the car running. And whenever this tears up or explodes, or you know, this is limiting us, or whatever the case is, then we will at that time, you know, redo our piping and change everything completely up. But this is good enough where I can tolerate it and work around it right now. So got that on, going to move on to the next task. So we got in our chassis engineering. See, this is a lot of type of stuff that y'all forgot about probably. Engine torque limiter, okay? So it's got the rod, the brackets that weld onto whatever you need to be, you know, and basically everything there. I think it can be drilled, blah, blah. I'm not doing nothing with this. This will go to Jason. And when he builds the headers, I will leave it up to him to figure out where this can go, what it can mount to work around his headers. There's no reason to put that in right now and then it be in the way of his headers. So I'm just gonna take that, and the other piece we got in the rubber coupling too for the intake of the Procharger. I guess we need to put this trim ring with all of this also. All of this goes to Jason. That box all goes to wiring. We got in the, let's see here, the trans brake input protection module. So this is something Turbo John had put on his and recommended. And so I snagged that also. So we got a whole box of stuff that's going to Chris for wiring. And let's open up the other stuff. So we got, let's see here, of course, a box in a box. I don't understand why shipping companies don't just wrap this thing up and freaking send it out, man, and not waste more freaking boxes, man. It's crazy. Our low car cable. And then yet again, look how small that is. Like, why is it not in a little tiny box? So all of this cable, all right, let's see here. This cable was shipped in that. And they, you know, with the cost of fuel and everything, you'd think you would want as much room on these trucks as you can get. But I guess the people shipping don't care, but whatever. So let's not get off course. So this is the low car cable. A lot of y'all recommended this for the Holly. So I'm gonna see how this works and figure that out. I still got to order the bracket for the actual throttle body, but got that in, so that's probably going to be at this weekend. So here's the other fire stuff that I needed. So ordered the lines new. It was going to save me about $20 instead of just ordering all of this. So this is a bunch of used line with 2 pulls included. It's a lifeline system. They've cut them off. You can see where everything's just cut where they were on some other car. But I mean, the cool thing is, hey, you got some tabs. I mean, I know they're all built just like I can build them, but some tabs, you got some lines, you got a pass through, you got some T connectors, you got 2 more pull handles. So there should be enough line here to finish what we need. We don't need much. And then what that will allow is I have extra left over for the red Maverick outside. So now I have 2 more pull handles for the Maverick outside, and then I have plenty of nozzles for the Maverick, plenty of T-fittings for the Maverick. Yeah, basically just trying to stock up where you can. I mean, an extra $20 and you get all that, and you start thinking about the Maverick outside and start collecting parts. So get that done. I think we are ready almost to put oil in it, but I think I'm going to hold off since I have to mess with lines down there. There's really no reason to put it in there right now. Well, she's all together. I'm out of breath off of blocks, ready to go to the shop. Man, I hate getting that thing off blocks. Man, there's nothing I hate more than getting this stupid car off of these crib blocks, man. It's just so much work. The front travel limiters are still not hooked up on the lower A-arms. So the wheels droop all the way down. And that's like 5 inches of travel or 6 inches of travel. It's something crazy. Of course, that's what I wanted, but it's crazy to get it down off of the blocks. But she's down. We're gonna throw her on the open trailer in the morning, get her to the shop, and get to work on her tomorrow night. Show y'all real fast though why it's going to the shop and what our problem is that we have to fix. So there's our problem. That is crazy. My 4-link brackets are freaking like 2 inches off the ground. So there's the rockers, there's how low the 4-link is. So I definitely messed that up when I originally built this car, but when I originally built this car also, I didn't expect it to have this stance. So this thing is laying on the ground. It is pretty freaking low. So, especially for a street car, so I never intended it to be that freaking low. And that's the reason why the 4-link brackets are as hanging down as low as they can, because originally the car wasn't supposed to sit like this. So that is what we are fixing. So we are here at the shop CRC, and we are gonna get this thing unloaded. Mike is gonna do some welding for us tonight, and we're gonna cut out the rear of this 4-link. We need to do something with the transmission. We got some transmission issues, and we got to redo the steering rack. I'm not happy with how it is. Kind of binds up. I'll show you all that when we get it on the lift. Everything's just changed so much than when we originally built the car. The car was sitting higher up versus now the car is sitting a whole lot lower down. So a lot of the geometry and stuff where stuff was originally mounted is all now different and needs to be changed up. So it shouldn't be too bad. I told Mike that the focus is to A, bang out the 4-link. That's the biggest thing. I don't want to do that at my house. And B, to fix the steering rack, because that's welding also. So them two things are welding. Don't want to do that at my house. And I kind of want that stuff done so I can put the back of the car back together. And so that the steering is right for pushing it around before it starts to go to wiring. And also going to headers, the steering needs to be fixed so that the steering shaft is in the correct location so that Jason can build the headers around it, because you don't want to get headers built, especially with the amount of money we're going to be paying. Should cost us about $3,000 for the headers, and you don't want to drop that and then you move your steering shaft and then you got to modify a set of nice custom built headers. So we got to get that right, and the 4-link right most importantly, and then the transmission just needs to come out and some stuff done. So technically, if we run out of time, we could bring it back here in a couple months and fix the transmission at that time, the issues we're having with it. And who knows, we might go to fire it up first start and transmission don't even go nowhere. I did build a transmission myself. It was the first time I built a transmission. I put a bunch of research in it, a bunch of time reading, but we all know how that goes. So hopefully that won't happen though. We need to address some issues with the mid plate, but you know, like I said, we could do that later technically.